Greetings and welcome back everyone to Pillars of Eternity, and unfortunately you just missed an awesome exchange between Sagani and Eder here. Eder, Sagani, does your fox bite? Yes. Can I pet him anyway? It's your hand. I'm gonna pet him. Oh, that was fantastic, but unfortunately I wasn't prepared at all for that to happen, so I wasn't recording it. But yes, welcome back everyone to Pillars of Eternity, where we are going to head out to the markets. That is our first port of call in this episode. Now, I have received some advice in the comments that I should really check out people's houses. A call for interested patrons. The Aidmith's Den Expedition Hall pledges competent, proven men and women, blah blah blah. Interested parties will ask to seek out the woman within the Expedition Hall. Wennen. Okay. Well, there are a few things that we actually need to take care of. We are going to be attacked in a couple of days. 4 days, 21 hours. We are going to want to resolve this. We're going to want to be back there in order to resolve it, I feel. I'm not exactly sure how that all happens, whether we just need to be there in order to resolve it, whether I need to have people out of my party and thus staying at the fort in order for that to help. I really don't know. 20 hours on the main keep. Allowing visitors and adventurers to be available to you and your companions. That is going to be a good thing. That's going to increase our protection significantly. We will also have time for one more thing. Other upgrades. Bars Passer invaders coming across the Icien River. We've completed that one. Which others do we want to go for? Now, I've received advice that I really ought to get the dungeons up and running. That, unfortunately, the wizard who asked for us to stay our hand to not kill him, but the only option we had was too late and to finish the job. Had we had a dungeon, that would have helped. I consider that a little bit of a spoiler, in all honesty. I probably would have preferred not to have been told that, but I understand that that was a very, probably as grey area of a spoiler as they could probably be. So I don't bear any ill will towards the one who revealed it to me, but I will use the information now it's available. But in the meanwhile, let's actually just chat with these people. So, Laura. The young woman stands by a card, watching the crowd with large, bright eyes that focus on you as you approach. Take your time, traveller. If you're looking for enchanted scrolls or garb, you've come to the right place. Show me your wares. What do you get? Seal of Faith. +1 first level spell, +1 second. Oh, wow, okay. Only usable by priests. Alright, that's actually pretty interesting. +2 second level spells, +1 fourth level spell. Wow. Alright, these are pretty cool, but incredibly expensive. +1 deflection, protection there. What else do you have? What kind of armors do you have? Nothing? It doesn't seem that way. Alright, well, that's actually pretty cool. I'll remember to come back this way at some point. The Crucible Knights weren't always soldiers. We used to be blacksmiths. Well, that has been told to me, yes. Nirma, or Nama. Well met, traveller. Are you interested in purchasing any rations for your journey? That was very quiet that I heard your voice. I'm not sure. Actually, I may have to change some settings on the volume. I wasn't aware I had. Show me your wares. Camping supplies. We could pick up another camping supply. I think we will. We'll take one extra, just to bring us up to the full complement of 4. What else do you have? You got a load of things, but I'm not really sure what I need to make yet, so I'm not really going to buy any of that for now. How about you guys? Igran, you look like an arms dealer. Okay, that definitely sounds weird. Igran stands behind a stall, polishing a broadsword. The patterned flesh around his eyes is crinkled with age, and the muscles in his arms are knotty and lean, but he holds the weapon with ease. He nods at you. Come to take a look? You won't find a finer collection of armor and weaponry in Defiance Bay. Outside Sonlit, of course. He flashes a crooked grin. What's so special about Sonlit? She operates in the Expedition Hall. He jerks a thumb over his shoulder. Sells the best equipment in the city, but Weenan keeps her on a short leash, keeps her fine inventory reserved for chartered expeditions. members of the dozens, and anyone else he takes a liking to. Okay, so perhaps if we join the dozens, we would end up being able to get some very fine gear. Let's see what you have for sale. We have got it's a war bow. Don't really want that. Oh, these are unique items as well. We've got some pistols. Alright, well, I might actually swing by here at some point. Do we have a lot of things? We kind of do, yes. Okay, sell value, well, enchantment type, low to high. These are free for me to get rid of. Let's just make sure. Do you know these? Yes, you know them all. And do you know these? Yes, you know them all. Alright then. These shall all be sold. We're going to sell pretty much everything that isn't enchanted. You don't want to keep any of these things. We're just carrying them around and we're just never using them. So there doesn't really seem to be much reason to keep hold of them any longer. Honestly, that's even the case here. Well, we'll keep some of the fine things because it's remotely possible that I'll come across someone who doesn't have gear, for whom I can give better gear from my source. I'm going to keep some of these. I like the hoods especially, and these coifs. I also love that that helmet there, but the others can go. Alright, that's going to get us a decent bit of gold, actually. Okay, we'll make that trade. Right, these two appear to be backers. What's this commoner got to say for himself? You're from the living lands. You must have had some seen some crazy things, perhaps.
Yes?
Right, let's head over here. What have we got in this barrel here? Can we take it? Yes, we can. Whatever it is. Cocoa. Alright then. And what about over here? Can we take things from over here? We can also take things from over here, yes. We've got some meat. Very well. However, now that we have fully explored the markets, or at least we've seen what the markets have to offer us immediately, I'm going to go through with our original plan, which is to go and check out the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. On the way, we'll look for some other doors. There may be some that we can go through. I was also given a bit of advice that I really should consider just popping into... Ooh, something over there. Popping into some of the houses, because some of them offer interesting encounters, which otherwise I would simply bypass completely. And that's not really what I want to do. I just don't want to get caught up in investigating every little nook and cranny, as I usually do in RPG games. It can take a very long time. Often leads to awesome gear, but can sometimes take a very long time. Might be something better done off camera. Now, where do we need to go? We need to continue going on down this way. Very well. Scrivener. What is a scrivener? The life of a scrivener sure is rough on the eyes, but it pays well. Perhaps some sort of scribe, I'm guessing. Some more backers. Anything else over here? Another scrivener, some refugees. You know what? Let's have a chat with the refugees. I didn't want to come here, but my village wasn't safe anymore. Excuse me. Oh, very well. You're excused. How about you? Have you been to the expedition hall? You might find your type of work there. What do you mean, my type of work? How do you just look at me and decide what type of person I am? Even if I am, you know, walking around and half the time I spend my time sneaking with 2 daggers and, damn it, I guess I am playing to a archetype, I suppose. We'll only knows Grimda's looking for... Ooh, let's see. Someone actually stole something from the hall. How'd they manage to do that? We'll only knows. Grimda's looking for someone to blame, though. So stay clear of her for a few days. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for the warning there, even though you weren't giving it to me. I accept it, nevertheless. Okay, then.
These pages serve no better use than fuel for the fire.
I think Garner would have a fairly strong disagreement with that. Alright, let's see. What's over this? The books on these shelves cover the history and mythology of Old Valia. That's quite cool. And this one... Records of books borrowed and returned fill the cubby holes. What did they just say? Welcome to the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Oh, thank you very much for the welcome. Just see there. These days it's rare to find folks who'll do so much for strangers. Oh, have you heard of me? It's fantastic. May the 100 visions be revealed to you. Oh, I hope so.
Well met, friend.
Ah, I'm a friend. And it seems that my volume has worked out, because I recalled that Ida's exchange with Sagani wasn't quiet, so it must just be some sort of weird thing going on in the market specifically. The woman barely glances up from the tomes on the table as you approach. You're welcome to browse the stacks, but mind that you keep your voices down. This is still a temple after all, and Grimda doesn't tolerate disorder. Okay. Well, at risk of appearing ignorant, who's Grimda? She speaks reverently. Why, she's the High Archivist. She's one of the most accomplished scholars alive today. Nothing goes on here without her knowing about it. Almost nothing, anyway. She scratches behind her ear. You should probably tread lightly around her today. That must be the aforementioned theft. Anything else? This is a temple. It looks like a library. Her eyes grow wide and round. That's because it is. Wheel is the god of mysteries and answers, encryption and decryption, concealment and revelation. She raises her hands to the rows of shelves. Its guidance comes from the understanding of the unknown and the protection of hidden knowledge. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries was built to celebrate that. To think that there's such a place in the Deerwood. Incredible. I'd love a glimpse of the archives. How many secrets must sit upon those shelves? Fascinating, isn't it? Temples dedicated to Wheel tend to hold vast stores of knowledge. We use that knowledge to unravel and preserve the mysteries of the world. Glindur, much like Kara, would actually be quite interested in this place, though I fancy Glindur perhaps... The way I've got Glindur's kind of culture in my mind would be more druidic lore, kind of passed down rather than written. So the books might seem a little bit alien, but the idea of a house of knowledge would still intrigue him as much as it does Kana. Tell me about yourself. She throws her broad shoulders back. I'm a scrivener and a devotee of Wheel. It's my duty to look after our records and resources. Her chest swells with pride. Farewell. Right, well, let's have a quick glance around. We've got something over here. Ooh, I would have to... See, I'm not sure what that means. Perhaps it means that I would be stealing, but usually that has a different kind of look from what I've seen. We've got someone over there, Priest of Wheel. We're not going to sneak around here. No entry into the archives without Grinda's permission. Okay, well, where's the archives then? Is that the archives? Elder archives. Very well. Well, we'll go in here instead. Let's just get out of sight, shall we? I'm going to test something. I would like to know what happens here. Okay, so I think I can look, but I can't take. Perhaps that's what that means. You can have a look, but, you know, this is becoming suspicious, or something along those lines. The Saints War Part 1. Daily affirmation of focus and efficiency. What's this then? It almost sounds like a skill book in a way. All errors can be reforged into lessons. Abraham rebuilt himself from ruin. No setback is insurmountable, not even death itself, so long as the soul is dedicated to the task. Work hard, work well. I believe we have actually read this before. All else can be reforged. Yes, we have read it before, or at least I'm fairly certain we have. If I haven't, then I do apologize. Missive of the Hand Occult. Ooh, that sounds like my kind of reading, actually. Dearest brother, or was it sister, may this letter find you in well spirits. A man of thuggish bearing stormed into my library the other day and demanded I help him find a book on the construction of an arquebus. I'm afraid I really am still tripping over that word. I should look it up and find out how to pronounce it. I thought it proper service to Wheel to steer the man toward an illuminated manuscript on the subject of whittling toy soldiers and other miniature props. Unamused by my solution, I shrugged and said, "What is an answer without a question?" He did not find my spiritual rhetoric helpful or amusing, and so he punched out 2 of my teeth. I trust your summer has been less tumultuous than mine. Wow. Okay, that's kind of interesting. In more important news, my apprentice claims she saw the eyeless face in a dream the other night. I admit, I was so mad with envy that at first I refused to believe her. Wheel, forgive me for such a lapse of judgment. I like the tone of this person. She described an amawa of brilliant blue hues with a featureless face surrounded by a swarm of eyes. No two eyes alike. She claims Wheel ignored her questions, and she can't recall any specifics of what was said. In fact, my apprentice seems to have forgotten many things since before the visitation. She could not tell me where she grew up or what she liked to eat. At first, I was so envious of her for having seen Wheel with her own eyes, but it seems Wheel's visit was to conceal, not to illuminate. I pray she endures this test of faith and can look back at the event and feel the joy of mystery. What is an answer without a question? Last week, I felt the solution was ignorance, but after Wheel's visit, I feel a road without length is closer to capturing the riddle. I worry my apprentice will look back at her visit from Wheel and feel cheated, robbed of some moment of clarity we all thought we were owed when we first joined. I tried to tell her she was lucky, but she was too young to understand. What is an answer without a question? May I be dead and my soul scattered to the winds before anyone knows for certain. That was actually quite a lovely little story there. Final journal of Jonas. My son, tomorrow I become the Effigy. Tomorrow I become Skeen's embodiment on Eora. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip. For months we met by secret conclave to plot our landlord's demise, all the while working the fields as if our hearts were content. Skeen teaches us to plot with the mind while keeping one's face impassive, inscrutable. Fair fights are for those with armies. The quiet slave is our whetstone, our focus. In his worship, our cause finds focus, clarity, and possibility. Tomorrow, my master chokes on his own whip. By the time you read this, I will be dead. I pray Skeen does not abandon me for speaking of my plotting, but a son deserves to know his father died. For I have volunteered to be the Effigy. Skeen will inhabit my body, using this old farmer's simple flesh as a puppet of godly rage. I have been shaved and anointed. Tomorrow morning, I will be your father in name only, as my manhood will be removed, my nose and ears removed, and my useless mortal eyes will be replaced with flint stones, through which Skeen might see the world. My son, I am sorry for the lies I have told you these past few seasons, but Skeen demands secrecy. Even your mother knows nothing of my furtive servants to the quiet slave. Curse my name if you must, but never weep for me, for I die for the betterment of our community, to smite our Lord's corruption from the face of Eora. Tomorrow, my master chokes on his own whip, for tomorrow I become the Effigy. A very convicted man there. Very interesting. Oh, I'm liking these when they're not just stories. And I know that sounds horrible because I really do appreciate that there's so much lore available, but it's interesting when it's a more less of a thesis, a study of the lore, and more an actual thing that's happened, like letters between people. Even if that has no bearing on what I'm doing, I find it more interesting to read. The Travels of Errol of Levy, 2662 to 268. Do you guys have anything to say? Grimder is especially cranky today, and that's saying something. Fairly well. Can I have a look at this? It looks like they don't mind. The Many Faces of Barath and Saints War Part 2. Not interested so much in those tomes. Well, now that I know that they don't seem to mind me having a look, and it seems that, well, you know, I'm in a library. I think everyone kind of knew that they was going to be reading in this one. We have 10 Years of Dawn and Adir Customs. Neither of these hold any particular worth to me right now. Let's see. We've got something over here we can have a look at. We have got the Book of the Hunt and the Adir Empire Part 1. Origin. Let's have a look at the Book of the Hunt. When my students ask to be taught the way of Galawan, I tell them that they have already failed. Does one ask a deer to present itself as dinner? Of course not. One must outwit, outmaneuver, and overpower the deer if one dreams of venison. So it is with the seeker God. To ask a question is weakness and idle indecision. To seek answers is to understand and to become one with Galawain. Survival begins with strength from within. But I only strike my students when they ask the second stupid question. For all of us begin young and weak. It is a point fact, and not one of shame, and a central tenet to Galawain's teachings. I like that idea. It's kind of like the Fremen, that they allow their children, upon being born, to weep, and only then to weep at the cruelty of being born into such a harsh world as Arrakis. And after that, they're never allowed to cry again. Unless, you're Paul, and then you give water to the dead, and that's something very different. Perseverance and cleverness are prized by Galawain over brute force, a fact my young pups often forget. It is right and proper that the strong lead the weak, and it is equally proper that the strong be continually tested until the balance changes. Galawain celebrates the strength of the victor and the prowess of the well-fed predator, but above all, the clever hound celebrates the transformative nature of strength. Galawain's greatest desire for us is that the prey becomes predator. Mewling babes grow into strong hunters, and the lost find their own enlightenment. This philosophy is best exemplified by the rites of the Anamfatha of Ir Glanfath. When one of the Glanfathan spiritual leaders is old and nearing death, it is customary to enter the woods and confront Galawain's herald. If the seeker god finds the Anamfath's life, deeds, and soul worthy, the reward is a quick death, and his soul joins Galawain's pack. If deemed unworthy, the Anamfath is killed, his soul forced to find its own way to the next life, and his memory erased from the records of the tribe. Survival begins with the strength from within, and weak leaders endanger the whole pack. This is Galawain at his purest. Even at the end of life, one must struggle for worthiness, for greatness, just as one must struggle every day to feed his pack. The Seeker God is easy to understand if one actively engages in the quest of knowledge, but his secrets are self-occluding to those who merely ask, desiring knowledge without the requisite hunt. My own flesh and blood once asked me, will learning to hunt please Galawain? I told him yes, but added, Galawain would prefer that you hunt to learn. That is very nice. Prefer that you hunt to learn. Okay, moving on. The symbols on these pages writhe and shift. They're dizzying to look at. Ooh, it's kind of cool. Magic symbols. These titles all refer to Glanfathan mathematics and advanced geometry. What do we got here then? Aether Empire and the Midwife's Memoirs. No, I think we've done enough reading, perhaps. Maybe. I don't know yet. We might come back to that. Priest of Wheel over there. We'll just have a quick look. Excerpts from the Sermons of Struggle. The Irosian Calendar. We also have the Enigmatic God of Cold. The White That Wends. Here we have... oh, my lord. Selected Correspondences of Giftbringer Eden. That actually might be interesting to read. True Stories from the Living Lands. Hello. These days it's rare to find folks who do something. Keep searching! The Obscured leaves clues for those who seek. Okay, I think this is probably the theft quest, I imagine. Let's have a look at this. Impossibly! This painted eye seems to move whenever you turn your back. Okay.
Well met, friend.
An elderly dwarf surveys the stacks. Her skin looks as tough and wrinkled as a walnut. Despite her stature, she manages to look down her nose at you. Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. You're welcome to look around, but let the priests and scriveners continue their search. She shoots the nearest robed figure a withering glare. Wouldn't do to give them any other excuses. What are they looking for? Maybe I could find it. She sizes you up, stroking her chin. Could you now? She scowls at the robed priest again. You certainly couldn't do worse than this lot, anyway. Thieves made off with an ancient scroll of wheel. They intended to blaspheme by selling that which should remain hidden, a secret of the 100 visions. Her wiry eyebrows arch over her spectacles. The guards caught one of them, but were overzealous in their interrogation. All they could piece together was something about a farmhouse on the road to Deerford. Track the thieves down. I don't care what you do with them, but bring back that scroll. We'll reward the persistent seeker, and so do I. An ancient scroll of wheel. There's a fine prize. I mean, a worthy task. I can practically hear your eyes being shifty, and Glyndor isn't even looking at you right now. I bet if you turned around, your eyes would be on a different part of your face entirely. What else do you need? Well, let's actually talk about wheel for now. A smile reveals a row of crooked teeth. There's the rub, isn't it? Wheel is the god of things hidden and revealed. The more of the 100 visions one sees, the more one has yet to discover. Though we often call Wheel he who sees and is not seen. It is neither male nor female. To assign any definitive characteristic to Wheel is to miss another essential part of its divinity. I was wondering about it being referred to as it. Thanks for the information. The 100 Visions. A term of reverence for Wheel's many revelations. Despite the name, they're infinite. Each epiphany leads to yet another enigma. And I thought I was busy. Tell me about yourself. I'm the High Archivist of the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. She coughs loudly into her fist. And I am too old and too busy to be bothered with inane questions. Fair enough. Even just one or two. Kana sighs. Oh, poor Kana. He's looking forward to this, you scallywag. You can hear his crestfallenness. I had questions. Ask. Oh, scallywags, I don't have enough. Okay, tell me what you know about the thieves. How should I handle the thieves? What's so special about the scroll? Let's talk about something else. What do you know about the thieves? Very little, except that they were foolish to believe they could steal from the god of secrets. That, and they were fleeing to a farmhouse. How should I handle the thieves? She's already told me to do what I want with them. What's so special about this scroll? Wheel is the god of secrets. If I told you that, I'd cheapen it, wouldn't I? She cackles. It's a parable, the kind that nourishes the inquisitive mind and poisons the foolish. Ooh, okay, poisons the foolish. I'll bear that in mind. Let's talk about something else. And there's nothing else to say. Okay. Well, drat, we don't have enough perception. But let's check on our quests. That should be in our journal right now. And where would that be? The Long Hunt. No. What? Oh, here we are. Tasks. Group of thieves has stolen a scroll of wheel from the Hall of Revealed Mysteries in Defiance Bay. Grimta said that one of the thieves mentioned an abandoned farm on the path to Deerford. Let's actually check on our map then, shall we? Where is Deerford? Deerford is over there, so we would have to go through this area. We might find something along the way. All right, fair enough. We will have a look, but first let me poke around inside. Anything else I can have a look at? No, really? Really, nothing at all. Oh, man. The other thing that I may be missing right now is that I'm going to have to do it.
I shall be discreet.
This is a place of secrets. We should sneak around so that my trap sense activates, and I might be able to notice any levers, any buttons, any books that look conspicuously ajar with scrapes on the floor around the bookcase as if it were actually a sliding bookcase. Might slide aside, lead to a secret room. I'm probably hoping for too much, really, but I hope nevertheless. Thankfully, we're moving quite quickly. Right, well, we've got a new task, and this place was actually far less interesting than I thought it was going to be. I was hoping for a little bit more, but perhaps we'll get a little bit more when we have completed this task for Grimda. I imagine that may ingratiate us with her, and perhaps we'll be able to go in there, but that said, she might not care to give us access to those secrets regardless. But, okay, well, we've had a look around. So we're going to pop back outside and work on the next location for our investigations. I am being drawn ever more to the Explorers area, or Expedition Hall rather, Explorers area. Now there's the Scrivener's Dormitory. Perhaps we could pop our heads in there. We might actually find something to do with this by going to the Scrivener's area. We can swing up there. I'm not going to go into these areas until I've got a reason to. or at least until I've explored everything else in this area and have no other leads to give me a reason to. But I think we'll pop into the Scrivener's dormitory on the next, at the beginning of the next episode, and then I think we may even head over to Admeth's Den Expedition Hall and check out what's going on over there. But that's going to be it for this episode. I do hope you've enjoyed and will be joining me for the next. But until then, and as always, do take care.